What a ship. Ought to be on board. Are you on board? Are you on board? What's that? Hey, it's your main man, Action Jackson, and the business spotlight. No. All right, turn it back up. Just a regular commercial. High energy, everybody. High energy. You gonna get there. No, Zoe, I want to come in. I'm sorry, I have to load in Mr. Flanagan commercial. Oh my goodness, y'all better get it together. Come on, people, come on. Oh yeah, we definitely gonna change up this list. You said old school. You just said high energy. I want you to move my liberty up. We could probably keep it when all of our children get together. Yeah, I say high energy. We need high energy. All right, I will bring you in there. Four, three, two. It's a kinship, it's a friendship, it's a relationship, and all that means is what a brunch bunch ship. It is your main man, Action Jackson. And on this Throwback Thursday, I want you to remember that a dream deferred is not a dream denied. Just because something is delayed doesn't mean it's dead. God's timing is always perfect, and sometimes the wait is where the preparation happens. So hold on to your vision, believers. Stay faithful and keep doing the work. Though the vision tarry, wait for it. It will surely come. I believe it's Habakkuk. We tried to figure that out 2 or 3 yesterday. But I want you to know, believers, your delay is not your denial. Keep believing, keep moving, and keep trusting that what's for you is still on the way. Listen, I am excited. You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. We are in the midst of a great week. It is Thursday. It's Tamara's favorite day of the week. It is her pre-Friday, Thursday, Friday Junior. What she call it?
Friday, Junior.
Free Friday. I don't know. Well, whatever she call it. It's Thursday. Thursday is actually my actual favorite day of the week. It prepares us for the weekend. And when when I was in the world, Thursday was my favorite night to hang out. But thank God that I'm safe. We're gonna have a good time today. We got a great show. We're talking hot topics. Listen, Donald Trump is trying to free Larry Hoover. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. And nothing surprises me with the Trump administration anymore because I know he's gonna do some crazy things. And then we have none other than the Flanagan Group. Michael and Shayna Flanagan will be joining us. Don't go nowhere. We got way more to share right here on the Brunch Bunch.
He's fabulous. He's just trying to appease the black community.
Well, I mean, he got his federal.
I don't.
He still got to serve.
How that's appeasing the black.
He still got to serve 200 in Illinois though.
Yeah.
Like he's not. He's still going. He's gonna be in jail.
Be different.
Thank you, Adam.
Queez, a new luxury brand from Tamara Fair. Queez comes in 2 distinct fragrances.
No, but I was saying that they were
in a crash and need some cash.
Kiss. Order Queez today.
Go to bequeeze.com and get your favorite fragrance today. That's BEQUEESE.com. Bequeeze.com.
In a crash and need some cash? Don't start panicking. Just call.
When do you want to do the Flanagan interview at the during what's going on?
No, I'm gonna do what's going on. They ain't the guests. They just regular guests at the end. What's up, Tina? Adam. Tina said, what happened to her Mother's Day tickets? She won. Yeah, now Cat got his tongue. Because she tagged me. Let me tag Adam and Tammy. That's them. So where are those tickets, Jim Shoe? He said, give them. He got them for you. And those are VIP. Don't forget. Ain't that right, Tina? Yes. Tina, you did win VIP, didn't you?
Bugs, rodents, or creepy crawlies ruin your home or
Creepy crawlies.
Solutions. The trusted pest control experts serving our community. Mention the Brunch Bunch and receive a special discount on your first service. Take control today and save good.
Wait, no. Frank said just go to will call. Just go to the place.
You got to call these people and tell them.
Will call.
I know, but you got to let them know so they
Yeah, I
know.
gave them the list.
No, I'm about to let them know they got to go to will call.
Oh, well.
Send an email. Adam going to send emails out, but your tickets will be at will call. That's a long way away for will call. Why he don't just give physical tickets? Oh, look, I'm sorry. We talked.
I got Tina in there.
A Kids Zone and more. This event is free.
Because I was having people go pick it up at the schools. That we didn't want people in the schools. So
somebody been coming by the Dream Center. She won. I told her to call. I had told Otis to call you.
Oh, yeah, I got that figured out. That was when I was getting them at the school. So hers was at the school.
Okay.
Or be in control.
Safety isn't optional. It's a necessity. That's why we trust Secure Home and Automation, the experts in life safety and security systems.
And right now, Secure Home and Automation is offering an exclusive deal for new customers. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 866-447-3344.
That's right. Call Secure Home and Automation today at 866-447-3344 and take control of your safety.
Hello, Sunshine.
Well, hello, Sunshine. You look really rejuvenated.
I feel rejuvenated.
30 seconds.
Did you go in yet?
I did.
You did the. It's my turn.
Yes, it is.
All right. Perfect timing. Her hair looks amazing.
Thank you.
I
Luster.
love the white.
Oh, is it on there? I would be wanting to take it off.
I love that. I wish you could have it every day.
Real Christmas gifts.
Don't he?
I used Luster's products today
All
for the
right
first
now.
time.
Come on, you better come through with Luster.
On the Brunch Bunch.
You know, one of our mantras, believers, is that it's always our aim to send you back better than you came. So entrepreneurs, attention, please. You know, every year for the last, 4 years or so, we have had a minimum wage increase. And for those who are minimum wage employers, you have felt the brunt of it. So this year, as of July 1st, 2025,
Ain't the same. $15 for non-tip workers, $9 for tipped workers. So you guys are getting a little reprieve, and you want to make sure that you stay up on top of it. Anybody that's telling you differently is a scammer. Now let's transition to scammers. On the way here, I got a call from someone that said Wintrust, right? It said it when it came up. It didn't say scam likely. So typically when you see things like that, you take some value in it and you think it's authentic, right? So the gentleman said, "Hi, I'm calling you because your account, someone attempted to transfer $15,000 from one account to some."
Hey,
And I don't have any kind of accounts like that that would actually be able to transfer like that. He said, "Well, can you log onto your account right now?" I said, "Yeah, but better yet, what branch are you at? Let me come." He hung up. I called my banker. I said, he said, "That's a scam. People are doing it. I'm getting calls from a lot of the customers. Know well that our bankers are going to call you personally.
yes.
They're not going to be a random call. I'm telling you guys this because it is on the rise, right? And because there are so many people that are becoming victim to this. It was a movie that was out, and Felicia Rashad was in the movie, and they took $2 million in her account, and it really wasn't even her account; it was an account that she managed.
Mm-hmm.
And then her daughter, who was an FBI agent, found the person. It was a whole company, like they were all set up, and she exacted revenge on them. So also the Illinois State Department of Motor Vehicles is enforcing penalties beginning.
That's a scam.
That began. I know I was going to say that.
Well, leave with scam alert. You know, I want to make sure the people know.
So here's another scam. The Illinois State Department of Motor Vehicles, the DMV, final notice enforcement penalties begin on May 30th. Our records show that as of today, you still have not paid your outstanding tickets, and in accordance with Illinois State Administrative Code, blah, 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 if you do not complete payment by May 29th, which is tomorrow, we will take the following action. Report you to the DMV violation database. They don't have one of those, y'all, just so you know. Since vehicle registration starting May 29th, nothing in government works that fast, just so you know. Suspend days to suspend them. Transfer to
No, that ain't true.
it's not.
I've been on the other end of that a few
Oh,
times.
well, it's still a scam. Transfer to a toll booth and charge a 35% service fee, and you may be prosecuted and your credit score will be affected. Pay now, and they even give you a link, illinois.gov-knfj.xin/pay. That's the tell all, y'all. And sometimes they will send you information that will say such and such a .illinois@hotmail.com.
Yeah,
Well,
you gotta
you
check.
definitely know that that is not the case. So I had another story to talk about. However, I think that really these kinds of things are important for us to disseminate to you so that you cannot, don't just keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Tell your entire network.
Because it's on the rise, and you click these links so easily.
Yes.
And you know who got easiest? Our seniors.
Our seniors.
Because they just don't really sometimes understand it until it's too late.
Not only that, they're so excited that they can click a link and take care of something over the internet or wherever, and they don't have to actually go out. That's the target market, right?
Yeah.
So let me tell you something. So many people are turning 65 this year, and these scammers have that database as to who is turning 65, and those are the ones that they target first because they figure like, okay, they either have a lot of pills that they're taking that puts them in a state of delusional, or they are riddled with different ailments that also put them in a state of delusion. But check on your seniors, y'all. Check on them. Make sure that you're going through their phones. Make sure that
With their permission. Look, me and Adam both looked at you like.
Well, yeah, because you never know.
Some of these kids and great kids don't need to be going through your phone. They be the scammers.
They be the scammers.
Tell about my grandson checked my bank account for me, then it was empty.
Well, yeah, that's true. Oh, well, let me just say, for people who are of good intentions with good hearts,
go through their phones.
Educate them.
Yeah.
You know what? If you change the brain, you change the behavior. We just have to educate the seniors on what to look for because I get emails every day. I've even had one go so far that they told me, now here's the deal. When you know you haven't done wrong, you definitely like, oh, scam. They sent me a letter and the letter said, we have your search history. We saw the websites that you've been on and we've screen recorded them. And if you do not send us this money, then they had a picture of my house in the letter to make it really seem real. And there's information on me that they were able to pull off the internet. And I'm like, yeah, but I know this is a scam because you ain't got nothing in my browser history. The wrong ransom, buddy, because I ain't got nothing to hide. But somebody else who might have actually looked at something they shouldn't have, in their leisure time, get scared and then send the scammers that money, thinking
Right.
they really gonna send their family and
They've
friends
gotten
that.
so sophisticated with it. It was a point. There was a point in time where they would say, "Go to your local Western Union and
Oh
send
yeah.
this, that, and the third." That right there should have been an alert. I'm not going to my local Western Union. And we're living in a day and age where technology can send people to the moon, people to Mars, people to Jupiter. Why would I have to send $15 to you by going to Western
Well, now they're
Union?
getting you the Zelle and crypto coin because they
Yeah.
gave me a crypto wallet to give it to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So the times have changed.
Because
Things
my
are
first
getting way
scam
more
was the
sophisticated.
Western Union when I was a 15-year-old business owner.
Are you
I
serious?
was buying Motorola Razr phones, what I thought was coming from China. And the company said, wire us $15,000 via Western Union. And I was about to get a big shipment of these phones. You remember Motorola Razr? You know
Yep.
how long ago this was.
Yes.
And I went online to Western Union because I was young and the internet was,
Relatively new.
relatively new, but you could do some Western Union.
Yeah.
The Western Union agent called me
And said it's a
because the
scam.
Chinese company address was Lagos, Nigeria, but I was only 16 at the time. I didn't realize that was their quote unquote corporate office, and I had to send the money, and then they would get the stuff shipped from China.
Well, I'm glad you said that because in every scam, there's a tell-all that we miss.
Yep.
So you have to be very discerning to authenticate it. So you have to look at every single line of it. I know that there's been several times that the toll road has said that I'm in violation. Well, I have auto replenish on my toll road. So I sent it to Adam. Adam says, scam alert, scam alert. So, we just ignore it. But don't ignore it. Report it because the more you report it, the more these companies put stopgap measures in place so that they can have fail-safe mechanisms so that you don't have to be bothered with it.
Also, AI is really good at detecting it too. Like,
Oh, really?
with the text I just showed you, I just put in AI, is this scam or not, and they pointed out every reason why it was a scam.
So the way that you take it to AI is you copy the link. Copy the
text that you
text,
receive and then
put it in
paste
there.
into AI and
Mm-hmm.
point out all the red flags.
Well, listen, AI is the truth, and we're the truth. And thank you, Tammy, for sharing that because that is very important.
Yes.
I get them at least 10 times a day, a scam call or a scam text message.
I tell you too, when you're really, really busy, right? And I'm sure they don't have a way to monitor your movement, but usually it happens when you're really, really busy and you're not paying attention. I urge you, stop before you do anything and read it in its entirety so that you do not get and become victim of scam because it's easier to front load your
Then to fix it.
security than to fix it.
Yep, yep.
I can tell you a story. This is before I was saved. Did I tell you this about Inglewood?
I've heard many stories before you would say.
Before
Now I need to wonder if it's PG enough for the radio.
I'm gonna make it PG. I'm gonna attempt. So, someone stole my social security number, right? And I was on their trail though. I was literally. So every place that they
Only
went.
you will go searching for the criminal.
Nope, I got some homies that would do it too. So I was on their trail. So they went to a furniture store over in East Chicago, and I asked them because they had my purse, right? Remember, they had my purse and they had my ID, and so whomever, whatever. Anyway, so I found their father in Inglewood.
Found their father.
I found
And
that.
is the end of the story.
And that's
Thank
it.
God you say. Well, listen, it is not the end of our story. It's Throwback Thursday. We got some throwback hits, and Zoe is about to play one of my favorites, Yolanda Adams, My Liberty, right here on the Brunch Bunch.
Why you sound like an insurance commercial?
Because I wanted to
Liberty!
make sure, because that ain't on the list. I wanted to give her a chance to.
Liberty!
On the list.
No, it wasn't next on the list.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I had it. I switched. Little me Jesus.
What's up, Kevin? What's up, Islam? Israelites. I love that. Hey, Tyrone. Oh, I love that song. What's going on?
Go
You
right
want me to do
ahead.
it? No, thank you.
We were praying for you all yesterday.
Thank you. It was really nice. Adam came.
Yeah.
It was really nice. Because they didn't have a funeral. They had a luncheon.
Yeah,
I've never been to a service
What?
like yes.
It was a whole luncheon.
It was like a banquet.
Oh,
It was
wow.
like banquet tables. They did the service. Everybody came up and made their remarks.
Nobody in the room.
Nobody. He was cremated.
Oh, okay.
Nobody in the room. And then because he liked eating so much and he was in the service industry, in the food service industry, they had a luncheon. And when I tell you the food, did you stay for the food? Oh, man. The food was good. It was really good. It was really, I mean, it was real unique, right?
I never been to a place like this.
Me either.
Where was it at on the...
Maryville, Indiana.
Oh.
A black-owned place. Beautiful. It looked like it was, and I asked because it had, you know, when you go to a Muslim-owned place, it's got all these chandeliers and sconces that are chandelier, and so that's what. But it wasn't Muslim. It was black-owned. Beautiful, beautiful place.
Did he tell them to text you when they get here?
So anyway, guys, listen.
Pam was looking for you yesterday. Did she call you?
Pam, she called me. Yeah. So guys, listen. Here is your topic for today. What's up, V Tate? Valerie! What's happening? Oh, my Jamaican beautiful partner. I love you. I miss you. So listen, guys. This is your topic for today. This is your exclusive social topic. If you are a caretaker of someone that is elderly, I want you to put the most memorable story in the chat. Now, it could be good, it could be bad, it could be indifferent, but your most memorable story of the person that you are taking care of. And if you have some times where you say, you know what, forget this, you on your own. I want to know about it. Put it in the chat. I miss you, Val. How is the family? Oh my God, I'm so glad I have your Instagram. I'm going to follow you. I love you from now and from now on. So about a week ago, I was in Jamaica and I thought about you, Monica, me. Remember that trip? We had such a good time. I've been telling people I've been going to Jamaica since I was 16. Valerie Tate, who I went to high school with, she went to one of the trips with us.
Oh.
We had an absolute ball. It was one of the most memorable trips I've ever had.
I bet. You love Jamaica more than I do, I believe. Or do
I think
love
we
it
equal.
more?
I think we love it equal.
Equally, yes.
Yeah.
Lance reached out to me the other day, too.
He did?
Yeah, to check in on me.
Lance did an amazing job with my cousin's bachelorette event because we decorated his van, and he went and got every decoration.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Lance is the man.
Lance is the man.
Okay, Zoe, you can zone this out and go to commercials so we can...
And then go to the what's going on. Or you did what's going on already.
I didn't. I was waiting on you. Ladies first.
Nah, don't do that. Don't forget we got tickets to give away.
Boom, 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 boom. And then I think Michael is coming, not Shayna. That's what he printed.
Grease, a new luxury brand from Tamara Fair.
So, so guys, listen. Everyone is good. It's good to see you too.
Order Queeze today.
Go to bequeeze.com and get your favorite fragrance today. That's
Somebody,
BE.
you don't have it on Do Not Disturb? You do? Oh, but
But if somebody,
that's what's that.
no, if somebody calls more than once, it usually goes past.
Oh.
Most fun you'll ever have at a doctor's appointment. It's the Black
You
Men's
guys,
Wellness Day, happening Saturday, June
make
14th.
sure
Join
that
us
if
at
you
Washington
need
Park,
all
where
of
you can
these
enjoy free health
kinds
screening, a
of
5K walk
screenings
run,
that you
music,
come
a
to
kid
this
zone, and more.
Father's
This
Day
event
event,
is
you can get
free,
all
open
these
to the
screenings
public.
for
So
free. You
bring
don't
your
have to
dad,
charge your
uncle, brother, son,
insurance.
anyone you care
You don't have to do.
about.
Oh,
Visit
and I definitely want to
aawellness.org to
announce
learn more about
Helen's
the
thing
event and
tonight
how you can help.
because
That's
it's every Thursday, and all of these resources that we are imparting to you, they're not just so you can hear them. It's not just for good radio. It is definitely so that you can utilize these resources and you can make sure. So, attention, all pregnant women.
Thank
Tonight
you,
is the
Zoe.
Mother Support Group, and so it's an 8-week education and peer support group. It'll focus on prenatal, postpartum health. So it's tonight at 6 from 6 to 7, only 1 hour, and it's at 756 East 111th Street in the Pullman Bank building. So you definitely want to go. Also, if you're not pregnant, which you might not be, but you
Hmm.
know a pregnant woman, or you know
What's going
someone
on?
whose girlfriend, wife, or significant other is pregnant, it's got a poor connection, then make sure that you let them know that tonight is going to be free, free, prenatal, postpartum, and also it's food and drinks and giveaways. Now, I know that will definitely get you there. Food, drink, and giveaways, y'all. Plus, and this is sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield. And my cousin, Dr. Helen Davis Gardner, she is the orchestrator of this wonderful event. And you can also email mothers with an S support group at BCBSIL. That's Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.com. That's mother support group at BCBSIL.com.
I'll tell you what's going
On
on.
the radio.
So what's going on is President Donald J. Trump seems to be
I was about to say y'all
fond
on first name basis
of
tonight.
handing out pardons to people who apparently make nice to him or to people who seem to not deserve it. We see it with the current batch of crooks he's letting loose, including the 1,500 January 6th rioters, 2 Washington, D.C. cops who killed a black man, and most recently, reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrisley, who flexed $30 million in fraud. Now, Trump is getting headlines for commuting the sentence of Larry Hoover, the co
Woo-woo!
yeah, I don't know about that woo woo co-founder of Chicago gang Gangster's Disciple, who was sentenced to prison in 1973 for ordering the murder of a drug dealer. Now, Trump said that these people and a list of others were victims of a weaponized criminal justice system, but there are others who he has not yet explained why they are being released. Hoover was hit with between 150 and 200 years and was federally convicted in 1997, receiving a life term. He must still serve the state charges, so currently there's no sign he'll walk free. But Trump's decision to commute Hoover's sentence is a mixed bag, and here's why. Hip hop has advocated for Hoover's release for quite some time now. In 2021, and I don't know how valid his voice is some of these days, but Kanye West and Drake performed in a benefit concert for him that was put together by Rap-A-Lot founder Jay Prince. Many in hip hop have been a part of an effort to gain awareness of Hoover's efforts to reform the GDs, which he proclaimed in the 90s to mean growth and development, and helping to form a record label and a nonprofit organization. And I quote, there definitely was more to it than just him being a gangster. He was a real leader and he was trying to lead people in the right direction, Larry Hoover Jr. told WBEZ last year. Now, on the other hand, nobody can deny what the gangster disciples meant in the streets of the Chi for many years. The GDs were one of a number of South and West Side gang sets which are still infamous. While the GDs evolved from other gangs that formed to push back against racist gangs terrorizing black Chicagoans. The latter result was black Chicagoans still living in terror. Now, the GDs were not responsible for all of this, but they did have their share, and it was largely the result of what emerged from Hoover's actions. So Trump is saying Hoover is done serving time as far as he's concerned. But if he's granting him a reprieve, presumably because of the unfairness of the justice system, then can the governors of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York do the same for Assata Shakur, Mumia Abu Jamal, and Joy Powell, respectively? Or at least get the FBI's off Shakur's back. Not to mention the people ISIS disappearing from the country just for being Latino or Muslim. Although the three names mentioned in state cases, the evidence is clear that what Trump considers justice means it's time to question the entire justice system.
Well, it was a big pregnant pause right there because you stared me in the eyes because I said whoop whoop about Larry Hoover.
Because
Now,
he ain't getting out.
he's getting out. This
Listen,
weekend, he's getting out.
if you believe that,
Okay.
Governor J.B. Pritzker will have to commute his sentence.
Governor J.B. Pritzker would have to actually re-arrest him.
He has to serve his state
Well,
time.
it's state and federal.
His state and federal charge.
But he had to get out of the federal prison.
And then he's going to the state prison.
Oh,
He's
well-
going to be transferred to state prison
But my point
for
to you,
200 years.
my point to you is that that's an over sentence, and so that's
Yeah.
where my problem lies with that, because when you look in comparison to people of organized crime who have committed the same or have been charged with the same crimes, they get sentenced, they
Yeah.
serve their debt to society, and during that time there is a premise that when you go to prison it is to reform you. At what point do you actually see if there has been a reformation if you never let them out?
He's been in
So-
that since he was in his 20s.
Exactly.
50 years.
So that's my point, where you say,
Well, I looked at you like that not because I don't think he should be free, and I believe in being reformed.
But your conversation was in conjunction with you don't think he should be free.
No, smoke and mirrors is why I said don't
Oh, okay.
woo-hoo so fast.
Oh, okay.
Because guess what? Do you believe, honestly, in your heart, that Governor J.B. Pritzker, who is preparing to run for president of the United States of America, is going to side with Donald Trump and do what he wants? But he's not going to do anything that Trump did because he has to distance himself.
I don't think
even
that-
if it was right and the people asked for it, this is politics and they play games with us. And
Well,
unfortunately,
Pritzker has not made a public statement as to what he's going to do about it yet. However, he is getting out.
yeah,
And he would Pritzker or the state of Illinois would have to rearrest him, and then it would have to go to a different situation. Now, let me tell you something. The climate that we're in right now about over sentencing and the disparity between the justice system in non-blacks and blacks is hot.
Yeah.
So Pritzker and anyone else that's running needs to really be diligent and intentional about how you handle a situation like Larry Hoover. There's so many people that might not necessarily like Larry Hoover, but as much as they don't like Larry Hoover, they don't like imbalanced justice.
yeah, but so what Trump did was a one-up on him, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to think that he said, I got one for you. Plus, I'm sure they were in the room and he said it just like this. We got to get a black something, and we're going to give him Larry Hoover because I didn't let the whitest of the whitest people out, the Chrisleys. And I've never watched their show, but I was watching some interviews and stuff of them, and they're really white, right? But he let them out $30 million fraud. They stole the Chrisleys. They reality TV stars.
In Nashville.
And he let them out because they support him. And one of the prosecutors called the Chrisley family true Southern Trump supporters or something like that. So that's where you mess up when you tag his name on to somebody. But nevertheless, he said, here's a one-up for him. I'm going to make black people happy. Woohoo! But ain't nothing really going to happen because I know he got to serve 200
Well, there's
years.
a big difference because the commute is different than a pardon. A full-on pardon, which is what the Chrisleys got, is different than what Larry Hoover got because you're still responsible for restitution and you're still responsible for sometimes you can go to a halfway house or wear an electronic monitoring. But how do you effectively, Donald Trump, let a big meech out and don't let Larry Hoover out? He literally had to let
Could
Larry
he
Hoover
had
out.
a pardon Larry Hoover? I
He
didn't
could
really
have.
look.
That's it under his executive
So
power.
that would have wiped away the state charges too, right?
I'm not sure about that.
Because I believe that pardon power it drops all charges.
You know, the pardon is
And they like the Christies were
powerful.
ordered to pay $17 million in restitution, but thanks to the pardon, they don't have to pay anything.
They sure
now.
don't.
So they get to keep all the fraud money and everything, and they can't be tried again for this.
They don't get to keep it. You know, Donald Trump was like, okay, look,
But
I'm
they
like,
go throw
I'm
them a
gonna need to, you
fundraiser.
need to run that. You're gonna need to run that dough.
But that's what's sad about this. And then it's like political prisoners, right? Political people. Larry Hoover. I don't see, and prove me wrong, right? I don't see the governor commuting his sentence to agree with Donald Trump because it'll look like and the reason Trump did that, because they play chess, not checkers. He did that on purpose. He knew he could let Larry Hoover out. Black people would say, woohoo, and be happy. But then Pritzker in the state of Illinois was going to keep him locked up. Then he's going to use that against them during his next election cycle when he's campaigning
For
to
whomever
keep
the Republican.
to keep the House red. Oh yeah, it's I'm not. I won't say I'm just so astute in this, but I know.
No, I mean that makes very good political sense. However, we'll see how. And you know,
Because
you're
his
gonna
son
always.
was on live yesterday asking people to tag Governor Pritzker.
Yeah.
Because he understands what's about to happen.
Yes, he definitely does.
If the governor don't let him
I think
out,
everybody understands. And if they didn't, if you listen to the Brunch Bunch, you're going to understand because we're going to keep our finger on the pulse and we're going to keep you informed every step of the way on Larry Hoover's journey to freedom.
see, Blago was a federal crime. So, of course, that he didn't have any state charges. It was just federal. So that's why Blago. But I got to give
Blago was full pardon, though.
You're right, a full pardon.
Yeah.
So Trump has pardoned more people during his presidency than in the history of any president.
The first day.
The first day,
day.
he broke records.
He went right in there and said, okay, all this ceremonial stuff is great. However, give me that pen.
Then
He started swiping things left and right.
They went through some other presidents who have pardoned some people that made you raise your eyebrows,
Yes.
like Bill Clinton. All of them have, right?
All of them have.
That's the power of the pen.
The pardon pen.
The pardon pen. And I just wish we had more elected officials that say what they mean and mean what they say.
Well, actually, we're about to because, as you know, State Representative LaShawn Ford has announced and thrown his hat into the U.S. Congress race. And so, you know, he is a man of the people. Like, literally, he has lauded himself as such, and the people have responded because when you have a problem and you give it to LaShawn, your problem is now his problem, and you got somebody to hold your hand to the solution.
And what district is that? 7 congressional
I think
district.
it's 8th.
7.
It's 7.
That's 7.
Danny Davis,
Danny
right?
K. Davis.
Well, I talked with the congressman, and I said to him, you know what? We're going through so much turmoil. I'm so glad that you are at the helm of this because we didn't need a freshman congressman in order to deal with all of these senior issues, right? He said, well, if I decide not to run again, I think, Tamara, you'll be very happy with the person that I approve of. And so I can say, quite frankly, that I'm very happy.
So is it official?
It's official.
That the Congressman Davis is not running?
It's official.
Okay, I missed that press conference. Did we have a press conference?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay, I'm just making sure. You know.
Well, I don't know if it's official.
Right.
Let me walk that back.
Right.
I don't know if that's official.
I didn't want no smoke.
Fact check me. I
Right.
don't know if that's official. You know, he's trying to rope me into something.
I'm not trying to rope you. I'm trying to help you.
No, you baiting me.
No, I'm.
So let's bait and switch. Next song, y'all. Keep it locked right here. We got a great guest coming. This is version 1390 the Brunch Bunch. You tried me.
No, I know politics,
and
I don't want Tabby saying nothing that they be calling you afterwards. But I heard on the show
I know,
Tabby
right?
said. Got children get to heaven. All right, man. You know you're late, man.
Better late than never, man. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? How you feeling, man? I say, bro, Mike don't like us, man. He always in the Shayna. I see. I ain't mad at you.
I'm loving the pony.
I listen. It's your own the heck ain't. Oh, it's about to get lit this summer. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Oh, I mean, you came in smiling hard. Tina said LaShawn got my vote.
That's right, Tina. Thank you. Tell all your friends.
I meant to say too, if y'all don't want to talk about Diddy, we ain't got to talk about Diddy. I know this.
You y'all, well, y'all like talk
This
about
is a
Diddy.
show.
We can talk about Diddy.
I don't know how y'all feel, but if the listeners want to hear about
Hey,
Diddy,
your
We
wife
talk
came.
about Diddy.
Your wife came right in here
But we
last
been
week talking about. Can we talk about Diddy? I was like, it's your segment. We can talk about Diddy. We
we
talked
done
about
talked
him.
about Larry
oh,
Hoover
y'all already
already.
talked about that. Okay.
So I do got a question for you. Fade this
I
out.
think it would be good to have him
Let's
join
come
in
right
on
in.
the
I do want to ask him a question.
Lori's perspective.
3, 2, 1.
You're rocking with the Brunch Bunch right here on Inspiration 1390. It's your main man, Action Jackson, and I'm posted with the Queen of the South.
It's your girl Tamara Fair on the air, and I'm super excited today because the topics are hot. The blocks are too. We're going to talk about it. Ain't nobody going to stop us from talking about it.
Well, we are happy. I said it earlier in the show. The Flanagans are a power couple, and they grace us with their presence every week. And they take turns. But today we got attorney Michael Flanagan. And before we jump into his expertise, we're going to go into another expertise that he knows so well, law. Larry Hoover got commuted. I want to know, could he have been pardoned and not have to face state charges? Or could the president only commute him? I don't understand that.
No, he definitely had a choice. The president, as y'all know, thinks he could do whatever he wants to do.
He's showing them that he sometimes can.
So,
More than sometimes.
um, so yeah, this as a lot of things that happen in media and that are out there in the world today, it remains to be seen. The book is not, closed yet. There's still some other, avenues, mainly the state charges that
Right.
Mr. Hoover still has to serve, allegedly, that are still out there. So maybe the governor might pardon him. Maybe he won't.
But the governor does have the
I
power to pardon him as well.
Yep. I
He
got
does.
my money
He
on
does.
not happening.
He does.
Well,
So
I got my money on doing the right thing.
yeah, yeah.
In
It's
politics.
and it's interesting because a lot of people say, well, this is just optics, right? That the
Yep.
president is just doing this because he just likes the attention. And
Not a lot of people. He just
Because
said it.
why didn't he pardon him then? Couldn't he have pardoned him and then he didn't have to worry about the state charges?
I mean, maybe he didn't want him to spend the rest of his life in Florence, Colorado, under the ground, in the highest security prison in the world. Maybe that was like a favor, even though he knew he wasn't going to get quote unquote released from state prison. Maybe he just didn't want him to spend. Maybe he felt like the man's life was worth more than that because there are. I mean, where Larry Hoover is where Jeff Ford is where El Chapo is, where the Unabomber and all these crazy people
Oh,
um,
wow.
And so his
spent their lives.
his sentence didn't fit the crime. So that in which he got charged for, now for whatever rumors or whatever else came about, in my estimation, it was over sentencing. Charge him for everything if you want to keep that 200-year sentence and make it look legitimately and make it stick, right?
Right.
I think he should have been pardoned a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I've been reading a lot of social media about this. Right, as soon as this happened, my dad called me and said, my 75-year-old dad, he felt like this was newsworthy to call me in the middle of the day. As soon as it happened, like 2 minutes after it happened, like, hey, they pardoned Larry Hoover and et cetera, et cetera. And then I logged on to social media, and of course, my timeline was flooded with people's comments and opinions. So, interesting time, certainly for us in Chicago.
Yeah.
Right. So.
So a lot of people that knew about Larry Hoover and the kind of reign that he had over the gangs in Chicago feel like or felt like that he had more control than there is in the streets now. And so they're looking to say, okay, well, now maybe with him being back on the street that there will be more control and there will be less unorganized crime, right? So there's a flip side to that too.
Yeah.
There are a ton of people that have opinions and very strong opinions about both situations. Now we just have reckless anarchy,
I've seen
and
heads.
nobody's gangs are gonna go away.
I've seen heads of mob families who have ordered the hits on 20, 40, 50, 60 people not serve as much time as Larry Hoover, right?
Exactly. Now, see,
Um,
he didn't say that before you got
no,
here.
so I get it. I want them free. I'm just telling you the optics of it because you said you want what's right to happen. what what's right in politics don't ever happen. What's right for them at the moment to help them
But
keep their numbers up. Unfortunately, let's say what happens in black politics is not about what's right.
but
It's
aren't you
about
the same person who's a proponent, a preaching proponent of no matter who's in the White House and who's in the governor's house, God is still on the throne. So that's why I said
yes.
that I'm a proponent of let's do the right thing.
And God is on the throne, and he also talks about faith and works, right? And
Hmm.
you got to have faith, you got to believe, and you got to work your faith.
That's
And
right.
he also gives us the right mind, and we have to pray for that every day. And our right mind shows us that evil people doing evil things are amongst us every day.
Well, speaking of evil, let's switch lanes for a second. Let's talk about the Diddy trial.
Oh Lord Jesus!
So what stands out most about this case is unfolding from a legal perspective. And so since we have a legal eagle up in the building, let's get to it.
Yes, yes. Attorney Flanagan. Don't start panicking. Just call Flanagan. WindyCityInjury.com. 773-789-8529. If you're in a wreck and need a check, again, don't start panicking. Just call Flanagan.
Say that number again.
773-789-8-LAW.
There you go.
773-789-8529. Um, so I think the most interesting parts of the trial to date, right? Because there have been a lot of interesting parts of the trial. But recently, we've heard that victim number three is not going to testify. They can't find her.
Mm. Dum dum dum.
So, this plays out. This has a connection to personal injury, right? Because
Mm.
typically, a longer the case goes on, then sometimes evidence disappears. So, with this particular situation with Diddy, this is not helping the prosecution. The fact that there's a witness that was in the indictment that does not want to testify. She doesn't want to be involved. They can't find her, right?
But do you think that
He
they can't
disappeared
find
her.
her because she ghosted herself? Or do you think they can't find her because someone intentionally ghosted her?
Speculation.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Speculation.
Of
It's,
course, an
it's
attorney
all
would not answer that. It's
it's
all
all
hearsay.
it's all hearsay, exactly, especially with this Diddy situation. But I mean, evidence is key, and if the prosecution cannot prove their case without a reasonable doubt, that man should be free. So it's not a preponderance of the evidence. Now, and these trials and legal situations, they're heavyweight fights. They go back and forth. One day it looks like the defense will win. The next day it looks like the prosecution will win. One day it looks like we had evidence to prove that you didn't run the red light. The next day
We got a video.
we got a video.
She did
Exactly.
run the red light.
Exactly. So you can't get too up or down. I don't want to say you can't get too emotional because I know a lot of my clients go through very tough times and are injured and get very emotional. And a lot of this just has to do with driving. I had court this morning. I had to drive all the way from Wheaton, so I had to take 55 out there, 290 back, and traffic, and people are intentionally slowing down in the middle of the street, trying to get hit. People on their cell phones, people eating, people doing all sorts of stuff.
Oh, distracted driving is real.
Oh, it is so real.
But I didn't know intentionally distracted driving was a thing.
I think I was driving my nice little SUV down here, and I think people saw my nice little SUV and said, "Ooh, let me stop real quick and see if he's paying attention. Let me hit my brakes, jam my brakes." So you just got to be aware of stuff like that, right? Because
Well, make me aware of how this missing witness ties into personal injury.
so once again, the evidence in the case is critical. In any particular case, it's critical. Here, this missing witness is a critical piece of evidence. Evidence equals witness. That's one of the pieces of evidence, right? Is a witness. It could be a video, it could be a document, right? But if that particular witness does not want to testify, then that's just one less person
Mm.
in that indictment who the government is using as an accuser who's not there. So the defense, right? Diddy's defense team can play into that and say, hey, why isn't she here? He must not have been that bad. He must not have been running this criminal enterprise that they're accusing him, this RICO, if this lady isn't present. So same thing with personal injury. Ultimately, a lot of these car accident cases, slip and falls, medical malpractice cases, sometimes they go to a jury, and it's up to the jury to decide the credibility of the evidence and the credibility of the witnesses. And if somebody uh, witnesses your car accident, and then all of a sudden they change their story, right? Or we can't locate them. That has a profound impact on your personal injury settlement. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's very, and I've dealt with that several times in the past few weeks where witnesses have witnessed personal, car accidents, and one lady she was driving a Tesla and she allegedly ran a red light and hit my client, and the witness is the key person because after that is word versus word.
Right,
And
right,
the
right.
Mm.
insurance company denies the claim if it's word versus word. If you can't prove your case, the insurance company's like, well, it's word versus word. Your word versus her word. The witness is a tiebreaker. So, all right, that was a
In
lot.
your
That was great
experience,
though.
that was great. In your experience, how does media coverage impact high profile cases like this? Can it influence a jury or the outcome?
Well, I've been following this case. I've been following a lot of cases, but I've been following this case intently during my downtime when I'm not following my personal injury cases.
Mm-hmm.
773-789-8529
Don't
is the
say that low,
information.
say it loud.
Just
Seven seven
come
three
and get me.
789 8 law. That's 773-789-8 law.
WindyCityInjury.com. But yeah, so I mean, it has a profound. I'm sorry, what was the question?
Ah, media coverage. You
Media coverage.
you
Oh
went
yeah,
to a personal commercial.
media coverage. You know, at the beginning of this trial, a lot of the media pundits were saying like, "Hey, it's going to be hard to find 12 or 15 impartial jurors who haven't heard about this case."
Yeah.
Right? So, media coverage tremendously impacts everything in our world today. As soon as Marcel walks outside, people just start saying his name because he's in the
Oh,
media, right?
oh
So,
Lord.
Right,
I
right.
mean, you all are in the media. Every word that you all say, every it's very impactful.
Mhm.
So, particularly with this case, um, you know, in Manhattan, they had to find 12 to 15 people who said that they could be um, not biased, right? Based upon all of the coverage that we know that they heard about,
Mhm.
right? And so, if in fact they were able to find people that were impartial, which some people just want to be on a jury. Some people say that they
Especially
can
high
be
profile.
exactly. Some people say that they can be impartial, so they can write that book and be around like the OJ
Or
folks.
start just, doing their podcast.
Exactly. So this 24/7 media coverage. I mean, and the jury once because they do have to go home, they do have to go somewhere. That they might be sequestered and put up in a hotel, but ultimately, like they're instructed by the judge not to
Talk about it.
go online, not to. But who really does that, right? Not to go on social media. So I'm
Well,
sure
can't they get uh, thrown off the jury if they violate what the judge's instructions are?
if the judge finds out,
Oh, well,
um,
my IRS agent said that they scour the internet to find out what you're doing on, so that's how they get a lot of their candidates, I'll say. So I would assume that the judge would have, or the courts would have somebody monitoring something like that. So let me ask you this. So the court of public opinion is really impactful in trials that are high profile. Is that correct?
that's correct.
Hmm. So when it comes to civil lawsuits, how do you prove emotional and physical, psychological damages, especially in sensitive cases and in high profile cases?
That's a good question, Tammy. So, a lot of my clients have PTSD from driving and from being in a crash. And I tell people documentation beats conversation. You have
Yep.
to see a therapist. If you want to prove emotional and psychological damages, you need to go see somebody. And it could be 2 or 3 times. It could be over Zoom. There are a number of different avenues, but you need to have some documentation because anybody can just say that they're emotionally damaged by virtually anything, but without that documentation, it's not.
Doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
They
can't
can't
you
they
can't
can't
you can't
compensate
track
you
it.
without the documentation.
That's
No
right.
compensation.
That's it.
That's why it's important. In any sort of situation, documentation is important. Get the police report. Go to the hospital. Insurance companies really value those independent third parties that are going to say, hey, this person came to me and documented their accident. They went to the police station. They got some camera footage. They went to the hospital. All of those things are important to prove your case.
Now, in 30 seconds,
Just 30.
Just 30. Are there any misconceptions people have about personal injury law that you'd like to clear up today?
Ambulance chaser. That's something that the insurance companies put out back in the 70s because
It ain't gone away. Just so you know.
Right. Because they didn't like, so essentially that was a tort reform, quote unquote, tort reform sort of scenario. Another thing is that if you go to the doctor too much, that somehow you won't get a high settlement because all the money is going to go to the doctor. No, again, you need documentation in order to get compensation. So somebody who goes to physical therapy 20 times is going to get more money than somebody who goes one time.
Oh, well, that's a good misconception that we have.
That was great.
Yes.
And lastly, before we go, I had somebody I told you was in an accident again, and he was advised not to pursue that case because he already had one going, but the person hit him. How does that work?
It needs to be a separate body part, right? So it's hard to get in two accidents within a short amount of time and you injure the same body part.
Right.
Now if you injure two separate body parts, then that's one thing. So if you injure your arm in one accident and your leg in another accident, then that makes it a lot easier for your attorney because your attorney is only as good as the case he's given.
That's right.
So essentially, you have an arm case and a leg case. You got two cases going on.
Two cases.
Two cases.
Wow.
But you got two arm cases, then they're gonna fight that. They're gonna say, well, how do we know which accident caused which injury? So.
But you know what? So many people don't know, and this is why we bring experts like you onto the show so that you can hold their hand. And so when you find yourself in situations like this and you don't know what to do, here's what you do. You call 773-789-8529. That's 773-789-8529. 789-8-LAW. 773-789-8-LAW. Attorney Flanagan, you are amazing.
Well,
thank you.
Listen.
And for those of you who are pregnant or know someone who's going to be pregnant or is pregnant, it's tonight, y'all. Mother Support Group is going down from 6 to 7 at 756 East 111th Street. It's free. It's food. It's resources. It's all kinds of things that you will need in order to have a successful pregnancy and bring that baby to term.
That's it. Well, listen, believers, we are out of time, but we're never out of content on this Throwback Thursday in the spirit of the late, great Reverend Clay Evans. No matter what you're going through, no matter how hard your day may seem, no matter, Zoe, how low your energy is, go home tonight, get in your bed and pull the covers around your shoulders because angels are watching over you. And he would always say, it's going to be all right. Matter of fact, it's already all right.
All right.
Listen, Tamara Found the Air, I love you.
Action Jackson with the good hair, I love you too.
Believers, we love you. Baby even them, we love you too. Tell your friends and your frenemies. We get it done every day from 12 to 1 right here on the Brunch Bunch.
Thanks, y'all. Thank you so much. What's up, Tanya? What's up, good mama? George, Wave.
$80, man, for this. Look at what you got, man.
I know, isn't his hair bomb?
And I don't pay no 80. See your Facebook.
Y'all, thank you guys so much. And tomorrow, when I ask you for an exclusive, when I give you an exclusive topic, think about engaging. Easy 3 Breeze, what's up? All right, see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Plan again, don't start panicking. Call